Hi everyone, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Morning Magpie, just a little news roundup show. We'll talk about the news going on in Newcastle United's world at the moment. So we're going to get stuck right into this, and there's been a fair bit happening, as you may or may not be aware. Of course you'd be aware if you're a Newcastle fan, but Newcastle are currently not in Newcastle, they're currently in Saudi Arabia, the home of our owners, and they're doing a bit of a pre-season, mid-season warm summer camp, I believe is the right word. But the lads flew in on the Saudi airline, or Saudi Airline, which is one of the new sponsors, one of the many corporate sponsors that the club is bringing in. I'm not going to pull up a photo because I looked at one that said copyright. So I think I'll leave that be. I'll just leave up to your imagination. Go and have a look on Twitter. It's on there somewhere. But yes, the lads are there. They seem all settled. Obviously, they've played a friendly, which has been played tonight, which I'm going to get stuck into in a minute. But yeah, everything seems to be going all hunky-dory over there. There has been some fans that have travelled over as well. They're all over social media. A lot of the YouTubers are on there as well, smashing up videos left, right, and centre. But there has been a fan engagement meeting as well, which has seemed to have gone down quite well. So not just for the travelling Newcastle fans that have come there, I think about 200 all in all. There's also been fans flying over from Qatar and from Kuwait, obviously new fans in Saudi. Looking to see the club, looking to speak to Eddie Howe and the players, and all seems to be going really, really well, to be honest with you. So it's just a sign of the new Newcastle United and just how they do these things as well. And obviously the owners have made a huge deal about it, took all the players to dinner, everything else. There's a few of the young lads that are over there as well, in mixing the squad. So that's really, really good. So it's nice to see that the club is doing that warm weather camp. The players look in good shape. And obviously the friendly, which we're going to get stuck into right now, was a roaring success. So if you watch it like I did, it was live on NUFC.co.uk. Bit of a surprise commentator there. I was having a bit of fun with it on Twitter, but some people get a little bit defensive. I think it was Geordie Run. I think he was drafted in the last minute. I actually thought it was genuinely someone the club had hired and paid. And I thought, what the hell is this? But to be fair to him, he was just a fan having a crack. So, crack on with him. But yeah, so we won 5-0. Against Al Hilal, which, if people don't know, is apparently the club that want to sign Ronaldo and pay him something daft like £200 million a year. They weren't great, to be honest with you. I mean, the lads did a decent job. They took care of business. Joe Litton looked class. Beast mode, red hair. Just like a massive muscular match, really, just running around the pitch, causing shit left, right, and centre. Scored a great header. Lovely run, lovely through ball by Joe Willock, who should have a couple of goals himself, really, as well. Slipped it under the keeper. Mickey came off the bench, smashed in a couple, and then young Dylan Stevenson wrapped it up and got the fifth for 5-0, which is absolutely superb. It was quite a strong team as well, actually, we fielded, in all fairness. So this is the team that started. Just let me stop sharing the score there, and you'll be able to see who it was. So you can see there we had Karius was making his debut and goal, made a couple of good saves, to be honest with you. Manquillo was there, Jamal Lascelles, the skipper, the big Botman was there, Jamal Lewis, John Shelby, Joe Willock, obviously Joe Litton, Jacob Murphy played, St Max and Chris Wood. Chris Wood went off actually with a back injury, but Eddie Howe said it wasn't too anything to be scared for. It was just a kind of a little twinge, really. Loads of these subs came on as well. Christ, I'd be here all night trying to talk about who came on where. But yeah, it's a little bit worrying when you saw Chris Wood get injured, because Alexander Isak was rested once again for this game. It doesn't sound like he's ready yet. And obviously there's been some doubts about Colin Wilson in the England camp, which we'll get stuck into in a minute. So, without Wood as well, you're thinking, shit, we've got no strikers. What the hell we're going to do? Obviously, Joe Litton goes up and bangs in 2 goals anyway. So that's okay against Al Hilal. But, we don't want that happening when we get back into Premier League action, which is only a few weeks away now, really, when, we've got Leicester on Boxing Day. And obviously we've got the Cup game as well, which hopefully the World Cup lads will be maybe back for that. Depends on what happens at the weekend. But yeah, so good performance by lads all in all. And believe it or not, winning that game actually resulted in this. We won a trophy. So the name of the trophy, I'm just trying to remember the name of the trophy here. It was the, excuse my pronunciation here. I think it was the, is it Derari Season Cup is what it's called. The Derari Season Cup. You can see there, lifted by Jamal Lascelles. All the lads look absolutely thrilled to have won a trophy. This seems to have pipped the Intertoto trophy as well. And none more so than Jacob Murphy. Look at that. He's having the time of his life, is Jacob Murphy. I don't think I've ever seen a happier man than that fella right there holding that massive, luxurious trophy that means I have no idea. But fair play to Jacob Murphy. Fair play to the lads for winning the trophy. It's always good that. Go away, have a bit of fun in pre-season. or mid-season as it is. It's so weird. It gets you so confused. This mental World Cup in the middle of the bloody year. But yeah, fantastic for the lads. Buzzing that they've won a trophy and kicked off that tour with a great start. I thought John Drashel looked quite good as well. Some of the young lads that came on, great for Dillian Stevenson, great goal. Slipped it in there. Lovely bit of play by Fraser. I thought Alex Murphy looked really tidy at the back as well. A lot of pace. The young Scottish centre half that were brought in as well. So that was really exciting. So yeah, so all good in terms of that regard. And Eddie Howe has been talking as well, talking about potentially adding to the squad. He's been talking about the January transfer window. So this is what a great man had to say himself. He said, as a manager, I'm always looking to improve the team. I'll never sit here and be content. I don't think that's the right way to manage. He said, my way is to take the team to new heights and to improve through training of the players. Yada, yada, yada. As you can see, in his position, he's keen to sign the best players, but they don't come cheap. Botman wasn't cheap. Isak wasn't cheap. And these players who can influence the starting 11 obviously aren't cheap, is what he's saying. Do we have the finances for that? I don't know. That might impact our options. And again, he talks about FFP and everything else as well. There's talk about, I think Mark and the lads talked about it on Wednesdays evermore when I was away doing my day job. I'm back now doing this, so this is great. But I think West Ham's Harrison Ashby is definitely a player that looks to be happening. I think he's out of contract at West Ham, so that'll be cover right back for trips. So that'll be quite a good one as well. But we're all dying for, a Madison or something like that. We've done a couple of room hazards as well. About Moses Casido from from Brighton as well, who was great for Ecuador in the World Cup. But these guys aren't going to be cheap, 40, 50, 60, 70 million quid. Can we do it? Can we not? It depends on what position we're in. Come January, if we're still pushing for Champions League, will we just roll it and say, fuck it, let's do it, because the money's going to come from the Champions League. Only time will tell on that one. But yeah, it's exciting though to hear Eddie Howe talking about January, because obviously clear that he's still got it in his mind, and he's planning very much for adding to this brilliant squad already, which is great. Nothing better than adding to a squad. Don't stand still. That's what Ashley did for years. So just moving on to our lads who are still in the World Cup. So it was a bit of a mixed bag really for the boys in the World Cup. So we'll start with Bruno, which was Monday night. Here is Bruno enjoying his 4-1 victory, very much so, in the World Cup with Brazil. He didn't actually get on, did Bruno, unfortunately. He didn't get on, which is a shame. I was screaming at the TV. I was watching at the pub down in London as I was away on business, screaming at them. But to be fair, South Korea didn't know what hit them. Brazil were absolutely on fire. Didn't even need Bruno, to be fair. They didn't need Bruno in the middle because they knew exactly what to do. They were just smashing it all over the gaff. The South Korea went out with a bit of a whimper, really. Brazil march on. They're still my favourites for the win. To be honest, I can't really see anybody getting past them. Maybe France potentially, but we'll get into them in a minute. And a bit of mixed bag as well on the Wednesday. So there was a massive shock result on the Wednesday when Spain got dumped out by Morocco on pens, which was unbelievable. But Switzerland got battered. And our very own handsome devil himself, Fabian Schär, was subbed at the 43rd minute. I don't think he had a great game. He had a yellow card. Can't remember if he got injured or not. I didn't quite see the whole game. But there was a hat-trick from young Cancelo Ramos, who was linked to us massively. Remember, we did some rumour hazards on him as well. The Benfica striker, he was on absolute fire. Cristiano Ronaldo was sulking like a twat on the bench. This young boy stepped up and battered Schär and the Swiss boys, and they're out the cup. So Schär will be going away, having a bit of a break, I think, and then hopefully he'll return to the squad and maybe get himself some minutes as well, and try and get himself sharp and, and possibly ready for the Carabao Cup game against Bournemouth on the 21st, depending on how long Eddie gives him and the rest of the lads off. So looking at some other World Cup news, so the Geordie Lions, they're back in action on Saturday, and they will be taking on, this is a daunting task for England, really. They're taking on France, and they're taking on Kylian Mbappe, who was a world-class striker. Our very own world-class striker, Callum Wilson, has been a bit of a subject of conversation. So he's missed a few England training sessions with little niggles and strains, apparently. But our own blue tick man, Roman reporter Dan Wales himself, had sniffed this out on the England Twitter page, hot off the press, and he banged this in our chat group. So I thought I'd pull this up. Shout out to Dan for that. And you can see there, Wilson looks quite tidy, quite fit. He's sprinting and training there. Looks like he's blown out of his arse, to be fair. But if he's been carrying a knock, not surprising. But yeah, so we'll see if Wilson's fit to be part of that squad. I'm not sure. I'm not just saying this because I'm a sweaty sock. I can say that because I am one. I think England are going to struggle against France. I really do. It's not just Mbappe; it's everybody. Really, I think they're a really, really good side, and I can only really see a France and Brazil final in this World Cup. I might be wrong, but yeah, I think our Geordie Lions might sadly be out of the competition at the weekend. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I'll probably get some shit for that, but yeah, I'm not too sure that the lads will be able to do it, unfortunately. So stepping away from the World Cup, there has been some more business news in Newcastle United, which seems to be all the bloody time these days. And there's yet another sponsor, as you can see here. So this is a sponsor called VOV, V-O-V, sounds like something out of The Boys. But they are a gaming company, so an offline gaming company, digital and esports presence. This is what loads of clubs are doing now. City do it all the time. I think Mark had mentioned in our cost of football episode that there's even a bloody gaming kit for Man City. I hope we don't do that shit, but you just don't know these days with football the way it is. And so that's yet another sponsor. So the corporate team is absolutely smashing it, to be fair. And been a brilliant appointment by Peter Silverstone as well, and Darren Eales just absolutely hosing it here with these commercial deals. And again, Eddie Howe's talked about financial fair play. All of these deals will really help us get more balancing in the books, and it will enable us to hopefully sign some proper players come the transfer window, and not worry about getting in the red or in the black, or wherever we're going to end up in FFP. So just to finish up, a little bit of birthday celebration. So happy birthday, lads. We've got a few birthdays to talk about here. So our current squad, our own Chris Wood, he celebrated a birthday just the other day there. He was away with the boys. He celebrated a birthday. And they got him a little bit of a birthday cake over in Saudi. So that was very nice for Chrissy Wood. I'm just going to check how old Chrissy Wood actually is. He is, how old is he? What am I doing here? Here we go. He's 31. He's 31 now as Big Chris Wood. So he's on the way. He's on the way to the big 4-0. Now, good. Happy birthday to Chris. I hope you had a fantastic time over there, to be fair. I've seen pictures of his missus, so I'm sure he's having a fantastic birthday. And some other birthday celebrations as well. Some players of yesteryear. Happy birthday to our own Sir Leslie Ferdinand. Which was today. What a phenomenal footballer this guy was. If you're a young fan watching this, you've never heard of Les Ferdinand, you've never seen Les Ferdinand, do yourself a favour and YouTube Les Ferdinand, Newcastle United. He was an absolute beast. Callum Wilson, very, very similar in terms of the play. I think Sir Les was way better in the air as well than Wilson, to be fair. As much as I love CW, Big Les was unbelievable. And also, a happy birthday message goes out to Terry McDermott, former player and obviously mainly assistant to Kevin Keegan. Terry's had some issues as well in terms of health, but it's great to see Terry, hopefully on the mend. And happy birthday to Terry Mack. And I hope whatever he's doing, he's having a fantastic day out there. So that's pretty much us done, I think, guys, for the latest edition of the Morning Magpie. Slightly extended one because it was quite a bit to get through, to be fair. But if this is the kind of thing that you like, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Really like help the videos grow as well by liking them, and obviously come and join us, subscribe. All free content here. We don't charge anybody for anything. It's rough as toast at the minute. We don't need any more bills to your climbing bills as you have already. We're just Newcastle fans that love talking about the club, whether it be our live shows Mondays and normally Wednesdays, or just be pop-up videos like this, or rumour has it videos. If you fancy a bit of that, come and join us on Evermore. We've got plenty of room for you. This is Chris signing off. Let's keep supporting that team of Newcastle United, and wherever you are, have a good morning, Magpies. We'll see you later.